Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me on the call today. We're taking a look at Miles Apart and VanCaster. Is that the name you prefer to go by?
Uh, Either that or Rami.
Rami. Okay. So, which role did you have on this particular project?
I was a main programmer and graphics designer.
Okay, got it. So the what did you what did you use to make the art, by the way?
Blender.
Oh wow! So everything that we're seeing is like a pre-rendered 3D image.
Yeah, practical. The city is in here is from I think it was Cityscape from Dallas.
Okay,
We
okay.
reuse imagery and all the graphics are made in Blender except the character,
Mhm.
which is uh, in the credits. It's credited as, so I don't remember which one of them. And all and this image, these portraits of those people.
Yeah.
That was made with I think Mid Journey.
Okay. I was gonna ask if those were AI generated.
Yeah, Dem was our other graphican also, and he did a grand job of trying to get the settings right and his photo. What was it? What was it in English? Okay, he does a lot of stuff in newspaper as photography before,
Okay.
so he's quite good with the image uh, tools.
Gotcha. Like image manipulation or
Yeah, yeah.
editing?
So
Yeah.
all of those, and he did like Mid Journey uh, uh, images and combined all the elements that he got from there, and so we had this kind of a visual look.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you also said that it was largely inspired by early Sierra games, right?
Kind of,
Or not
yeah.
early, but some
Well,
specific Sierra games?
there is a thing that I tend to do with all my games is that hide something nice from the early times of my gaming. So like the Lefty's Nuts and Services, homage to the Leisure Suit Larry's Lefty's Bar.
Okay, okay. That's what it was.
Yeah,
So maybe I'm leaning on that Sierra inspiration too heavily. It was the first thing that came up in the Discord thread. Um,
yeah,
so maybe just the
well,
visual styling and some of the Easter eggs sort of sense, not the actual gameplay or the
yeah,
narrative sense.
yeah. The gameplay and narrative is not from Sierra, but the homages and Easter eggs and some graphical visualizations definitely come from there.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. So the version that we're playing now was made for the G Develop Jam number 3, right?
Yeah.
And you were mentioning earlier in chat that you actually plan on releasing the other stories, like putting a bit more time into all of these
Hmm.
sometime for spring and summer.
Yeah.
So was that sort of like the plan from the beginning when the jam started, or is that based on the reception that you're getting to from the people playing it as part of the jam?
That's the plan from the beginning that we'll make a game that we're able to make to the jam, and then
Mhm.
we continue and fine tune it as good as we get. And we just didn't have time for the to implement all three stories, so we focused on the first one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Uh, and of course, because we had to like invent all of the methods of how to make this kind of a game, because it's the first time that we've made any kind of a story narrative based game with top down orthographic graphics.
Hmm.
My early early focuses have been mainly on action games, early,
Yeah, there's
earlier ones.
so many zombies coming in. At first, I thought this was
Yeah,
like a scripted death. There's no way I was going to get overwhelmed by all these zombies, but you can just kind of. Oh, I can. I see. I can close off these two. There we go. So now that I've like trapped them before I walk any further, this is when I get the second incoming call, and that's when I'm supposed to like hide down here. So
yeah.
this is the call that I missed the first time I played because I walked too far forward and the zombies started coming after me. So, have you got anything in mind to address that, or are you open to some suggestion?
I'm always open to suggestions. That's one of the points that happened to bump into that people tended to run past of that one fairly fairly all like kind of always. So there is like a definite game design bug in there. So it's a lot of time to improve. So I'll have to make the call trigger. So I kind of think that there's a car blocking that you have to move away. So
Hmm.
like before before you can advance or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that, like, essentially locking player in a little safe space, sort of the way that we
Mhm.
get in the zone that's upcoming. Like, once we get here, we're going to get another call, um, and we have the opportunity to like push this car aside so that the player is safe and they're able to take a call.
Yeah.
But the yeah, the suggestion I was going to make was just have the call come in a little sooner, and also, is it is it possible to have the player like walk while they're taking the call? Is there a reason that that's not like that?
Um, yeah, it's a kind of a remnant of the earlier plan that we had that you had to go to a safe zone to pick up the call. So you'd have to like trick the zombies for not finding you, like you hide behind a dumpster or something like that. They can't see you, and you can finally answer the call. And if you don't answer the call in time, it bad things happen to Sandy.
Gotcha.
And the first part is if you don't answer the first call in time, then the bad thing does happen as well. But it was like it was implemented in a fairly rudimentary way, and we didn't have to fine tune time to fine tune it.
Right.
That
Are you still like leaning in that direction though? Like, do you want that still be a mechanic or a feature of the game that you have to like take shelter to answer the call?
uh, perhaps yeah, at least on some stories because the other two stories they have totally different approaches going to be like
Gotcha.
second one is the two people in there they are like ranch people that have
Yeah.
like a lot of skills etc and they like trick sound alarms etc and rupture gas pipes to block the zombies or destroy them etc
Hmm.
you kind of a like the stories start from like the normal um, zombie genre that
Yeah.
at first no one knows what the hell is going on, and the
Right.
second one is like okay, there's something to do, and the third one is going to be the Barry and Lucy story is going to be a father and daughter. So that's a totally different approach. Like the daughter has no skills whatever to push the zombies. She has to like get away, hide, crawl into tight spaces, etc. So
Gotcha.
it's more like a sneak type approach in there. So every story is going to be in a different point of view as well. And the
Yeah.
first story is also was planned but ran out of time that we had character switching between John and Sandy. Well, but that is going to be implemented later on.
Right. Yeah. And then the is each so each story, is it going to be like primarily like running from point to point, or is it going to be more like um trying to wait out or like last at a certain point for a specific time, or are the objectives going to like vary from the through the different stories?
The objectives are going to be varying. So it's not only from point A to point B, but also um, on some of the stories we have planned that there are like multiple ways to get from point to A to point B, like three different ways: left, center, or right, or fast, or something like that. Sneaky way, explosive way, etc.
Okay, that sounds good. And I don't know if like in the first scenario at least, I think one compromise you could make in terms of like trying to take the call but still leaving the player in control is you could make it so that the player loses their ability to use their attack while they're on the call. So
Hmm.
you have the like you can still run away from the zombies, but if you think about somebody like trying to hold a phone to their head while they're like trying to, I don't know, fight off zombies with their other hand, it wouldn't be as effective. So it would allow you to keep moving without like completely locking you in place. I think it's reasonably realistic that somebody could
Yeah,
still like walk and talk at the same time.
yeah, that's a good idea. Really good idea, and I think that that's one of the directions that we are going to be leaning, depending on what situation you are in.
Well, that's the thing. I figure it makes sense for at least the first scenario where not you're not able to like do a melee attack anymore. I'm not sure what the exactly how the other two scenarios are going to play out. Whether it makes sense to do that same kind of you can't use your primary verb while you're responding to a call, or even like are calls going to continue to be a feature of the other two stories?
Yes, definitely,
Okay,
because uh, it's kind of the way we wanted to interpret the story, that there is like urgency and a panic on the other side, so that you like have to go to your loved ones and try to save them, etc.
gotcha. Yeah. Um. So the so right now the story that's in the game, the this first scenario is just like running away from zombies. Sometimes you have to punch them to kind of nudge them out of your way.
Yeah,
um do you think you're going to lean more in the direction of running away from things or in having to fight things off, or is, I guess it might vary from story to story?
both and some more, and heavily varying from story to story, because in the last story with the father and daughter,
Hmm.
there's like the father is like the burly big guy, and the daughter is 12-year old not so burly girl, and like she don't doesn't have any tools to push the zombies. She just have to get away, and dad is like a heavy duty person, like who can run through stores and tip over the shelves, etc., to block the zombies, and
Okay, yeah.
and also we're planning to have the phone calls to alter depending on your decisions all along on the longer run. So this game was like a kind of a proof of concept that we could do something like this, and we were quite happy about the outcome and the direction that we're going with the game, and we liked what we got in there, and I hope the players do as well.
Yeah, it's incredibly polished for a jam entry. So how long was the G-develop jam exactly?
It was 9 days.
Yeah, I mean it's very impressive that you're able to like. And how many people are on the team exactly?
Three.
Okay,
I did
yeah,
the coding and most of the graphics. Teemu did the storyboarding and the 2D imagery,
yeah,
and Killian did the music and voice lines, and some of the uh, 3D graphics as well.
nice. And then is the end goal for this project to actually have a like paid commercial release, or is it just going to be like an NHIO project that is a like donation supported?
Mm, why we don't know yet. It's like kind of a. I think that perhaps going for the commercial version, like it would be our first one. We have all the games that we have done thus far were free to play, and so it would be really fun to make the whole game as a commercial one. Thinking of the first level being the old kind of shareware demo version, and the rest of the stories would be implemented in there, like in the full commercial version.
Yeah, gotcha. Because that's sort of what I got from it. Like when I was looking at the presentation, it's like, oh, okay, so it would make sense that you get to like play the first story kind of as a demo, and then you have the opportunity to pay to download the like sort of premium version of the game that contains the remaining stories. But
Mhm.
I'm also not sure like what the scope of the project is necessarily going to be in that case. Like how long of the game, how long the game is necessarily going to be, or
The game is supposed to be a lot longer, and even the first story is going to be a bit longer because we're planning to implement um the story of Sandy as well. So you play a part of the story you play through with Sandy as well,
right.
and of course some more interactions in the environments in here, and not just pushing benches or moving a car a few times, but that there would be more of the stuff to do, like tipping over the burning trash can in there, so etc. And also luring the zombies away with using sound. So it's like you do the sneak version of the game, or like the
More
no
combat
violence
center.
version.
Yeah.
Yeah, more combat or no combat.
So you have a lot of different options for what you can use to like actually attack with the character. You have right alt V B N or M.
Yeah.
Was there a reason that you just made it all of those buttons?
Yeah, it's a kind of a inside joke in there. So at first we made the alt, but then we noticed that okay, alt GR isn't available in all keyboards like Mac or
Hmm.
something like that. And then we just like thought about okay, we have to do it on the M or N, which is from the MSX era,
Oh
second
yeah.
stuff. And then just thought about that. Okay, right-handers use space and M and N, but left-handers they tend to use the space and VB. So it's like you have possibilities in there. Of course, later on, uh, via options, you can program all the keys just like yourself, that however you want them.
Okay, yeah, it can remap the controls to be what you want.
Yeah. So we just didn't have enough time to do that because we had to learn almost from scratch to use Blender, etc. So that
Oh
took quite a
wow.
lot of time.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's yeah, very significant undertaking for a jam project to like learn how to use a full 3D program and like and get it to this like specific isometric style because you're emulating like visually this is a very like I guess 90s 3D sort
Yeah,
of.
yeah, that was kind of a focus point, like the old Brothers games perspective, the straight down, top-down orthographic version with no tilting,
Yeah,
like in
yeah,
the
it's not
isometric version.
isometric.
Yeah, so it's all just plain orthographic with 0 degrees.
Hmm. Yeah, so I guess in the scope of the Jam project, what do you think was the most, well, it sounds like it might have been like learning to use Blender, but was there anything else that was a difficult problem, and how did you overcome that?
Um, Programming the state machine for the player characters and the zombies, that
Hmm.
they would interact without like colliding on each other, and also the collision checks that at start, like the first 8 days or 7 days, all the zombies were kind of bunching up in a single point, like but now they are pushing each other over, and so they're like crowding all over and swarming.
Right,
So
yeah, because sorry, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. No, no.
Oh, I was just gonna say because like you might have like one of two things you might do there is that you might just allow the zombies to not collide with each other, um, but you actually have them like pushing off against each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. And and you can also go inside the first building in there as well. So that's the only building that is enterable at the moment.
Do you mean the
I
building
will,
that you start in, or
yeah, yeah. The left is nuts and bolts,
right?
nuts and servers.
Oh, I'm surrounded. It's always something that I want from these games is the ability to like walk one direction while attacking a different direction.
Yeah.
I actually made a zombie sort of survival game myself a while back. Um,
Really?
it's called "There's a Zombie in My Closet," and I don't know if you have any plans. Like that's why I was sort of asking about like how like combat centric do you want to make the game because the I feel like I can. Oh, let me just dismiss the voice call
Yeah,
here.
less of a combat, more of a problem solve.
Right,
So like
because
these guys don't have guns or grenades, etc. Right? So it's not like a head busting stuff, but mainly like use your environment. So that you can of course kill and destroy them if you find like a car with the gas cap openable and like with the light it up and it goes boom,
yeah,
also rupturing a gas pipe or something like that. And so we've also all kind of environment stuff planned up in there.
yeah, sounds good. I was gonna try and call open this game just so I can show it really quickly.
Hmm.
Whoop. Let me just turn that down for myself.
And of course,
Just in case, like this is made in a different engine, but the some of the things that I had set up. Well, first of all, it's a like straight top-down perspective.
hmm
Um, but one thing that we do have is the ability to like grab. Whoop! So I got a zombie sneak up behind me there. Um,
yeah, that's
the
about
combat with the enemies is a bit more like timing based. Like um, you do have an invulnerability period, but what will happen is an enemy will get knocked back when you punch them. So
yeah.
you have to sort of like balance and time your attacks. Um, and what we did was we made it so that you can oh here I'll just use one of these doors as an example. You can like push doors open as you walk into them, but you can
hmm
also right click right, come on, there's one of the you're supposed to be able to, okay, I'm forgetting the controls to my own game,
Okay.
that you're supposed to be able to um, okay, yeah, that's the okay, I know there's a button and I thought it was right click that lets you right, left mouse is aim. Yeah, right click is supposed to grab. So I don't know why I couldn't grab the door, but you are supposed to be able to grab the door so you can like pull it towards you instead.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so I don't know why it wasn't working on the doors, but you can see I'm like grabbing this stove
Yeah.
and like
So
moving it around. And
yeah.
everything in the game has a different weight. So the one thing, if you do go with a sort of like physics, because this is using like physics,
Yeah.
you could allow the player to like get behind something and like push something heavy in front of a door to like stop the zombies from coming through, um, or if you do have this ability to like grab something, you can also like pull it or
Yeah.
reposition it. So
That
um,
sounds. That looks really good.
again, like this is much more like combat focused, and it was sort of built with the idea that you can fight one zombie by itself is not a problem,
Hmm.
but when you have more than one zombie charging you at a time, let's see, I'll, have like a whole bunch of these guys all come at me. Um,
Yeah. Then it's
you have
becoming a
to, yeah, because
problem.
they'll all like bunch up with each other, and you
Hmm.
can't like you have a like a really long cooldown time on your punches.
Yeah.
So you can see with two guys, I can just barely manage. Like if I keep backing up, I can avoid them. This guy,
Yeah.
this guy got a little lost in the pathfinding. I think his collision intersected with the fridge, and he just got stuck.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, anyway, so that was that game. But as I said, it seems like it's much more combat focused than you were necessarily going for.
Yeah.
Um, but there are a few other like small things to point out. You can pick up melee weapons and use them. So like they have very significant durability, but you can like whack enemies with them and they'll get really significantly knocked back.
Hmm.
You can grab the TV and it's a directional source of light, so you could use that to like distract enemies.
Ah, okay.
We were going to have a flashlight in the game that you like your character always has a source of light on them. We were going to allow the player to throw the flashlight so that you wouldn't have any light, but it would attract zombies to the source of light, and you could sort
Yeah.
of use that to like distract them and then maybe like sneak around behind them and attack them.
Yeah.
And the one other thing that is in the game is if you break a source, like something that's made of glass, so if you punch the TV, it will actually break and it'll attract zombies to it.
Hmm.
Same thing with windows, or if you fire a gun, because there's like one gun that you can find, and you have like a limited number of bullets, but it'll also like attract all nearby zombies. Otherwise, they
Yeah.
actually don't
That
start walking towards you automatically.
yeah, that's the plan as well. That noise attracts zombies as well. So we can like kick down a barrel, and the zombies will get alerted to the barrel sound and
Hmm.
follow it instead of you.
Yeah, because I think that there are actually a lot of different ways you could take a like less combat centric approach. Like you still have combat
Hmm.
in the game, but it's not, as you said, it's not like the only way of getting through the game.
Yeah, and if you want to fail the first call, then you get a nice little um, what was it? Sandy not getting the the
Oh, if you
happy
just
ending.
if you just ignore her first call
Yeah,
here.
there's a two ways to ignore the call. Is one if is to wait enough zombies to spawn, and the other is to make to the park without answering the phone call.
Okay, wow. I didn't I didn't realize just how long you could wait and the
Yeah,
call would keep going. Because I guess the other two calls like or maybe no, because I answered the second call, but then I had to cancel it because it started running away. Oh, okay,
yeah.
so we
They
actually have a voicemail.
that's it's not canceling. It's just skipping over, so
Right.
people don't have every time don't have to listen to the calls.
Yeah. Okay, so theoretically I could listen to the voice.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh. Oh no, they're closing in. Oh no, various dismemberment noises. The absolute last thing that somebody would ever want to hear from one of their loved ones. That's
Exactly.
horrifying.
Yeah. And that is one thing that we've been uh, like wanting to implement in this game is that not every ending is a happy ending, and the some of the endings can be horrifying, and that's like a one thing that always personally annoys me with all these horror movies is that the good guys win, etc.
Mm. Oh, I wasn't able to push that car aside.
Yeah, there's a bug in there. Like if you s- let Sandy get like the bad ending, then the car you can't move there.
Oh,
That's one
okay.
of the bugs in there that I forgot to remove.
Well, okay. So we found the getaway car and managed to escape the town. Sadly, Sandy didn't make it. Her final screams will haunt you forever. Oh my gosh, that's rough. All right. Well, I guess that's about all we have to say on that one.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me on the call and like talking things through. Was there
No problem.
anything else you wanted to ask for specific feedback on before we go?
Um, how did you like the graphics?
I think that the graphics are like very well matched to the like the era that you're going for.
Hmm.
Um, I know there's only like so much you can do with GDevelop. I'd love to see what it looks like with the actual lighting layer because I'm sure that that adds a fair bit to it. So you mentioned you can actually go inside this. I didn't even realize that you can actually go in more like into this starting building here
Yeah,
on the left.
go
Um,
behind the wall so you can see the last Easter egg.
oh, okay, what? That's also from
Yeah,
Leisure Suit
that
Larry. My God.
yeah, Leisure Suit Larry. It's the painting from Lefty's bar.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that golden frame really does like stick out. Oh, I should answer that call. Hey, you've
Yeah,
actually got a fair bit of time to answer to respond to that one.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess the only thing I would say is that the sprite artwork of the characters doesn't necessarily match with the 3D environment.
Hmm.
Like, I would almost expect the character models themselves to be pre-rendered in the same sort of way.
That was one of the plans early on, but we ran out of time, so we left placeholder sprite in there
Right, okay, gotcha.
because it was like just easier. And the zombies is practically the same sprite that the player character, but they have color replacement and also they are like scaled with the width and height, so they're like some are smaller, some are wider. So it's a bit of a variance. So practically they're all the same sprite.
No, I did notice that there's like a whole lot of zombies that look a lot like me and have the same red shoulder patch because I guess
Yeah, that
because
was
you're
like a
you're just tinting the sprite, right?
yeah,
Oh my gosh, there's so many zombies. Oh no. Okay, well, we got the true ending, the Easter egg like bad ending, and then the death ending as well. So
yeah,
I think it'll be neat if you manage to get these like alternate endings into each scenario.
yeah. There's supposed to be alternate endings at least two because there has to be the ending where the other one dies, and
Right. Okay.
of course, different kinds of endings are supposed to be there. Like if you're happy with the choices that you made, and
Hmm.
if you sacrifice some other people over your own survival, etc.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that sounds great. If you do get a little further along in the development of the other stories, I'd be more than happy to try those out and give feedback on them as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now,
So,
thank you so much for joining me on the call. And
okay. Thank you.
yeah, looking forward to seeing
Thank you
more of
for
it.
having me.
All right. Have yourself a great evening. Bye for now.
Yeah. You too. Bye bye.